What's up, Internet? Don here from DonDoes30.com, bringing you a Python tutorial today. Lesson 4 of the series, and we're going to do a little bit more looking at strings. I know it's probably a beaten subject by now, but we're going to check this out. We got two things. I made two lessons that we can review today, and what I did compared to what other lessons I've done is I actually already coded these. I just want to go line by line on lesson part 1 and part 2 to show you the differences. This way you're not listening to me type the whole time, and we could see what we've got here. All right, so we have the normal print command, right? Remember from last time, and got some string literal here in quotes, and another print command with a variable that we could set. And of course, remember we set the formatter. For a string, it's a %s, and then we have to define that print sign. This could be a variable over here, or it could be another string literal like I did. And I've got a print, but also a little bit of a math problem. So it's a pretty interesting line of code that we'll see what it does. Then I set some variables. All right, and you could set, like I said, variables to anything that you want. I just set these to single characters. And we're going to add those characters together. All right, so let's go through this again. So we got a couple of print. There once was a man from Nantucket whose dick was so long he could suck it. And then we'll combine these down here. So this is Python for you right here. All right, so we'll exit, Control X, and we'll run that. All right. Now remember that funny line of code. It had one period and then a math problem times 40. What that does is it takes that and multiplies it 40 times. So there should be 40 periods here right after the tiny little funny limerick. And it's really handy. So instead of you trying to count out, if you're trying to do some separation here like I was between the top portion and our little character adding down here, you could use it that way. So just one period times 40 will shoot out 40 periods in a row. And then we have all of those letters that were combined into one string. All right, let's take a look at that code one more time. That's where we had the times 40, and this could be any type of separator. You could put a hyphen in there. And then this adds all these individual characters together into one print statement. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's go to lesson 2, or part 2 of lesson 4. Now, as you noticed, there wasn't really much of a breakup here, right? Everything was kind of mashed in together and combined. So, what I wanted to show you in lesson 2 is we have a days variable that sets the days of the week. We have a months variable. We got this funny looking character set right here. All right, the \n, and it's in between the months. I wonder what that does, huh? Now it's going to print the number of days, and what it does, you don't even have to set anything like I mentioned in a previous tutorial. If it's just one variable, this will print it after the fact. So if I'm printing it last, I can set a %s and then days over here, but since it's going to be after the fact, we'll just use a comma. And second print statement is going to print all of the months that we've just defined up here. And then we've got this funny little 3 quotation. What the 3 quotation does is it takes literal however you type it in and prints it like that. So if you're typing like a graphic, like an ASCII graphic, you would want to use the 3, have the ASCII graphic pasted into here, and then use the 3 to close the print statement. And you'll see what I mean here in just a second. All right, so we define days, define months with some funny characters. We're going to print the days, print the months, and then print this section out. See what it looks like. All right, actually, let me do this. I'm going to clear the screen because we still got some crap up from before. All right, so here are the days, right? It prints it like we typed it, with spaces in between. Now, those funny characters are new line characters. There's a escape sequence, which was the backslash, and then the N for new line. So each one is going to be printed on a new line. And then, as I mentioned before, anything within the 3 quotes is going to be printed out exactly how it's written within those 3 quotes. So a couple of ways to do some varying things with the print statements. Again, I hate using the print command to beat this to a dead horse, or however that statement goes. But it's extremely important to learn, because there's a couple of tips and tricks that you're going to use, and really outputting information to the screen is one of the main reasons why we program. All right, so this is lesson 4. We're going to continue with lesson 5 here in just a little bit.